Hi, it's Pat Gillis here, and I've decided I'm only going to check the news twice a day, and I think I'm onto something. Now, I don't actually have TV in my house just because I don't like TV very much. Anyways, I don't have a TV in my house, but even listening to the radio and things, it's just like it gets to just wear on you after a while, right? Like I find like look, I'm not trying to cast aspersions or anything. If your job is reporting on the news and all of a sudden you've got a pretty interesting story to report on, it's probably hard not to sort of slip into that sort of use of, I don't know, jargon or things that make it sound like you're really in the know and that this is a really big deal. It is a big deal, but you know what I mean? You'd kind of use those words. Like my favorite, my favorite right now is the one, shelter in place. Yeah, like, why don't you just say stay home, right? Like, that works too. Like, when I hear shelter in place, if I'm driving down the highway with my truck, I think shelter in place. Like, does that mean I just pull over and stay in the truck or whatever? Like, go home or stay home and to me, is a little bit more of an accurate way of putting it. But be as it may, like, I guess they do it, 24/7, right? Just to try to make sure everybody's taking this really seriously. And I don't think there's a lot of people left that aren't taking this pretty seriously, right? Like, I think everybody is kind of accepting this is a pretty big deal. But I think, every now and again you just got to shut it down. Like, check it twice a day so you don't miss anything important. But I think it's important in between those times to kind of give your brain a little bit more variety in its menu, like try to give it a little bit of different input to kind of just to balance things out a little bit, right? I don't know, like at times like this, I feel like it's a great time to kind of take a step back and think to yourself, how do I want to come out of this self-quarantine thing? Like, you could learn another language. Like, you could come out of self-quarantine and say, I'm going to be relatively fluent in another language, or I'm going to, indulge my desire to learn about something, go a little deeper on something that maybe I was sort of always curious about, but I didn't have the time to kind of look into, whatever it might be, right? You've got that time now. Now, I mean, I say that, like, I understand if you're trying to work from home and you've got a couple little kids and everything is crazy, that's really tough. I can only imagine how tough that is. I guess what I'm talking about is the people who are saying, oh, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do or whatever. Oh my gosh, like there's so many things that you could do. Like, you could learn, there's so many things that you could be learning and coming out of this just that much stronger, right? But if you have like moments in your day where you feel like you're bored or you're kind of stuck, one of the greatest ways to get unstuck is to try to learn something new, right? And no one can ever take that away from you. Like, once you have knowledge in your head, that's yours forever, right? And you never know what roads that might take you down or what doors that might open. So, like, even if all of your knowledge kind of doesn't takes you nowhere in particular, it's still a great way to spend your time, right? Kind of learning things. And as I say, nobody can ever take that away from you, and your brain will thank you for the variety, I think, rather than just always watching this non-stop, doom and gloom kind of stuff, So for us who are obsessed with horses, this is a great time to learn what, for people like the masters were studying. Like, when you think about these guys, they were riding, horses were their life. They rode all the time. That was their job. They got so close to these horses in terms of understanding and stuff. And then they wrote it down in a book. And we were able to kind of try to read that and kind of gain even this much of the understanding that they had. Like, one of my favorites, hang on, where did I put it? Okay. This is one of my favorite books. You can see it's kind of been, it's moved around a lot with me. I'm not even going to try to say the name because I can't pronounce it. Okay. Can you read that? This is a fantastic, fantastic book. I've been reading this, like, somebody gave me this book as a gift, I guess in 1982 or something, and I think I've probably read this book every year since then. Maybe not cover to cover, but almost some years, right? And every time I read it, I think to myself, I remember the first time, like in 1982, I'm reading it going, what in heaven's name is he talking about? Right? Like, I thought, oh my gosh, I have no idea what he's talking about. And then over time, the more you ride, the more you spend time with horses, it got like I'd be, you'd have those fleeting moments where you'd kind of go, oh my gosh, that's what he meant. And it would be fleeting and you'd lose it, but you'd have that moment, that understanding of things that he was talking about in this book. That's my recommendation. If you've got the time, if you're not like really, really busy or frontline worker or still having to go in and do all the things you have to do or working from home with all those kids. If you're one of those people that you hear, you see it on Facebook, they say, I'm so bored, I'm losing my mind, I'm going to go crazy. This is a great opportunity, right? To try to learn some stuff. And as I say, nothing can ever take that away from you. Like, once you've opened your mind to stuff, whether it's about horses or anything, really, like, it's always going to be yours, and your brain will be so thankful to have a little bit of variety in the menu. Anyway, so we all want to try to just stay safe, keep your mind healthy. It's really important. I mean, it's important to keep your body healthy and everything during quarantines like this too, but keep your mind healthy as well, because you're going to need it. You might need it right now, but look, seriously, you're going to need it to come out of this stronger, to come out of this more prepared and resilient. And I think that the way we can do that is by really trying to spend the time wisely and expand our mind a little bit. Just my opinion. Anyway, if you're watching this anywhere besides at our blog, which is at ismyhorsehappy.com, go on over there and scroll down and leave me a message. Let me know how you're making out. Thanks to everybody who reached out last week. Hang in there. We got this, you guys, and we'll talk to you next week. Remember to thank your horse. Thanks.